This week, we celebrate Stan the Man and all the things he left behind for us. We're not wrecking anything, but celebrating the life of Stan Lee, the man who brought us many great comic heroes. Hi, guys. Hey. So we're doing something completely original today that no one else is doing on the planet. We are going to pay our respects and do a tribute episode to Stan Lee and his creation.
Excelsior.
Because he passed away. Who's that?
Yeah.
Just look at my shirt. My shirt has Stan Lee's face
All right,
on it.
audio listeners, look at his shirt.
Look at my shirt, audio listeners. I have the most obnoxious shirt on that has Stan Lee with a pair of gunners.
Stunner shades.
Oh, stunner shades.
Yeah.
Put your stunner shades on.
Yeah,
Put your stunner shades
yeah,
on.
stunner shades on there. Just go on our Instagram if you want to see a picture of it because I posted that
I saw
today.
it earlier.
Yeah.
I
did see
didn't
it
like
earlier.
it.
You didn't like it. My father-in-law put googly eyes for it, and then he texted me and said, "I didn't mean to googly eye that. I meant to like it."
What is googly eye?
like the
the
googly eye
hard
emoji.
Yeah.
How do you- wait,
Because
hang on.
it was on the story.
Yeah.
It was on the story, and he double tapped the story, and it reacted to it, and the
Oh, okay,
reaction was
that's
the
that new
googly eye,
feature
and he
thing.
thought he was liking it, and then he said, "This is why people over 50 shouldn't use Instagram." It's like, yes, that's awesome. So yeah, we're talking about Stan Lee because he passed away this last week, which is a huge bummer because he created all these awesome things. And I say it with all sarcasm that we're doing something unique because every podcast on the planet is doing a tribute to Stan Lee this week.
Everything, everywhere. Is
Everywhere,
doing a
but he's a man that deserves the world to pay him tribute because
It's true.
he did so much stuff that's gonna live on past
It's
him
like
in infamy.
Steve Jobs, Stan Lee.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
He changed the world.
Yeah, he did change the world in a very weird way because comics were just a kid's thing back in the day. And now the things he created, such as the X-Men and Daredevil and Iron Man and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man, these are things that are in our lexicon as a culture.
It got so big that Disney needed to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know
That
you
says
made it when
something.
Disney needs to buy that. You know, that's crazy. So I'm wearing my Stan Lee shirt, which is pretty cool. I want to introduce my guests real quick. So we have Excelsior, Madison. We have With Great Power
Hey.
Comes Great Responsibility, Cam.
I like that.
We have Nuff Said, it's Joe.
That is
and,
Nuff Said.
and I'm this podcast, Generalissimo, Jordan, your host. So those are our introductions here. So Stan Lee as a man, let's talk about him real quick. But what we're going to do is talk about Stan Lee's creation. So we're going to talk about a few of the bigger names. So the Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, and then I'm going to let you guys in on a little lesser known people he created because they're funny. So Stan Lee as a man, though, he was known for making some of the most synonymous names in superhero and comics, along with Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Let's not forget them. They were just as much a part of it as Stan Lee was. I said a few: Spider-Man, Hulk, Doctor Strange, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Daredevil, Thor, X-Men. These are all the big names he kind of came out. But I went on Wikipedia, and there are just hundreds of superhero and villain names that he created or co-created.
With every gold that you hit, you have a couple, like hundreds of the
Yeah.
lesser
The
known.
bronze.
Oh, yeah. Not even bronze. It's
Yeah.
more like some weird porcelain that doesn't last too long. So he was born in New York in 1922. Real name, Stanley Martin Lieber. But 1922, that means the Depression was right around the corner. So you can imagine that his family did not have a lot of money while he was growing up. So he's a true rags to riches story. And he's the person that everyone wants their grandpa to be. Like, that'd be so cool.
That is true.
Like, if he was my grandpa, that would be so awesome. I read a statistic that said he's been in more movies than any actor on earth. And he's not an actor. It's just the cameos he's done, not just in superhero films.
Seriously?
That's
But
crazy.
he's a cameo in tons of films, even outside the Marvel films.
Right.
So he's been in more movies than any other
Interesting.
person, which is really, really cool. And did you know it's actually a contractual obligation he has with Marvel to be in every movie that's a property he created?
I do know that a couple times that got complicated as well.
Yeah, because some of them weren't things he created, but they wanted him in it. But he's like, well, I'm contractually obligated
Did you
to own
see
it.
they said, like, because everybody was like, oh, how are they going to do it in the next, like, movies? That they
Yeah.
said it should be Daredevil with, like, a wig and the glasses and, like,
Oh,
pretend to be Stan Lee.
That would be
Oh,
funny.
it
You
was
mean
so
Deadpool or
Deadpool.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Not
That'd be funny.
Daredevil.
Although everyone,
Also, it would be cool if Matt Murdock did do that.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah. if
That
Matt
would be so
Murdock-
really, really out of character.
Yeah,
but
it would
like-
be
it'd
extremely
be like,
out of character.
Go for it,
Just
Matt.
have Charlie Cox. He's never shown up in the Netflix series stuff, so it would be kind of weird to have him show up in that. But he has filmed his cameos for both Captain Marvel and Avengers 4, which is funny because I saw a bunch of people posting the Ant-Man one, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and they're like, his last on screen. I'm like, well, it's not really. He's going to be here. But
So,
yes, that was the last
the
one when he was
second Infinity
alive.
War will be
his last one that he ever filmed,
fitting.
you know? Yeah. Not that they can't do the
holograms
CGI
and
stuff anymore. They
everything.
got
Man,
Carrie
CGI
Fisher
is getting-
posthumous and everything, you know?
they
it's
can
getting
Grand
so
Moff
good,
Tarkin
too.
him.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, he shows up so little and stuff, you can kind of keep it going if you want to. But I feel like just they wouldn't, only to respect him because he was such a big person.
Yeah,
It just wouldn't be the
Sure.
same not to have him as himself be there. So Stan Lee always loved to read and write, and he actually wrote obituaries early in his life, but it got really depressing, so he stopped doing that.
You don't say.
Yeah, I can't imagine why that would be. His first opportunity to write a comic was for Captain America, so that was kind of cool that he got to write for that series. He wrote training films for the Army with some other big names at the time. One of them was Dr. Seuss. So Dr. Seuss and Stan Lee were writing training films
Interesting.
for the Army in like 1940 something, so probably around World War II time. Yeah, which is very interesting. If Stan Lee could pick to be one supervillain, he said he'd be Doctor Doom.
Okay.
Because Doctor Doom is killer. He's so awesome. Side note, Joe and I's side project band has a song called Dr. Doom's Doomsday Doom Machine. So go check that out. Although known for creating what we know as Marvel Comics today, he did write a bunch of stuff for DC Comics. Mostly their reimagining of things. He wrote a Batman series where he reimagined Batman. It wasn't Bruce Wayne. He was like Wayne Williams because he loves his consonants and everything.
Yes.
And he dressed up as a bat in the sense that he was like a furry bat. Like a
that's
legitimate,
funny.
anatomically correct bat he dressed up as.
That's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he did a bunch of that for Superman, Batman, and a few other characters
I had
in
no
DC.
idea.
Yeah, I think it was back in like the 70s or 80s or
Okay.
something like that. So it's just a fun little thing that not many people knew about because it wasn't very good. It was just kind of weird. So let's talk about Stan Lee's creations. Now that we've talked about Stan Lee the man, we'll start with the biggest one, Spider-Man.
Yeah, who's that?
So yeah, who's that guy? Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Is there a dash or no dash?
There is a dash.
There is a dash.
No dash.
There's a dash. So Spider-Man. How many Spider-Men are there? There's a lot of Spider-Men.
Well, I mean, just because of the
multiverse.
multiverse.
Yeah, because of the multiverse,
Yeah.
and also because it sounds like a Jewish last name. So it's like Peter Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So Venom was not Stan Lee's creation. That was created way after him, which is kind of interesting because he did create Spider-Man, but his most well-known villain was a creation way later. Now,
Was Stan Lee a cameo in Venom?
I don't know. I never saw Venom. Did anyone here? Did you see Venom?
No, I didn't pay for
I
it.
thought that
I
Kelly was
didn't
talking
see
about
it
it last
either.
night and said that Stanley was in it.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah,
he
I
did.
think she
Yeah,
said he
I think he
was.
is in it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kelly.
yeah,
Shout
thank-
out to Kelly.
To Kelly. You guys don't even know who Kelly is.
Way to go, Kelly.
Way to
Thanks
go,
for the
Kelly.
info.
Thanks, Kelly.
You're the number one.
yeah.
You're the real
Good.
MVP
Yeah.
here.
So in regards to Venom, I want to tell you guys something about this one. So originally, the black suit. You know that some kid, like the black suit was some kid made up as a stealth suit, and then they bought it for like $220 because they liked it so much.
They, like,
wanted.
they were like, "Ha,
Yeah.
kid, we're gonna swindle."
Pretty
you
much,
out
they
of
were
your
like, "Hey, you
idea."
want to sell us the rights to that for $220?"
kid's
And
like,
they're
"That's so
"Yeah,
much
that's
money."
great."
Yeah.
So they got the rights to that. So it started off originally Spider-Man's new duds, as in the black suit, were just made out of self-repairing alien technology. But somewhere along the line, they got a mind of their own. Artist John Byrne claims he came up with the idea for a living costume while working on Iron Fist with Chris Claremont as a way to explain why Danny Rand's clothes repaired themselves between issues. Byrne never got around to using the concept, however, and writer Roger Stern asked to borrow it for The Amazing Spider-Man. Stern left Spider-Man before the concept was fully implemented, leaving it up to writer Tom DeFalco and artist Ron Frenz to establish the symbiote suit's unique identity. So they literally got this idea of a symbiote like repairing itself just so Danny Rand could have his clothes fixed every issue.
That's something that I feel like I could really use. Like I have a giant hole in my
Yeah.
hood right now on this hoodie I'm wearing.
And if it just repaired
that's
itself?
what was always one of the weird things about Hulk. You were always like, okay, the clothes fit you when you're bigger and when you're smaller.
they
Like,
still
but if you
fit.
had something that was like
Yeah.
self-repairing.
Yeah.
And his purple pants were always like perfectly distressed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ripped in the same fashion
We're on
every
you,
time.
Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk. I don't like. And what are you doing wearing purple pants, Bruce Banner? Why are you always wearing purple pants?
It's because green and purple are like really close to being complementary colors, so it just looks
Oh.
good. But
Well, do you know why the Hulk was green?
because he was really envious of stuff.
Yes, he was. No, he was supposed to be gray, and it was so hard to print gray on the page, and it kept turning green that Stanley was like, "Screw it, We'll do it live. It's green. Yeah.
We're going green.
We're going green,
We'll do it
guys.
live.
So the first few issues that Hulk showed up in, he's actually gray.
Yeah, he was the ingradable Hulk.
Yeah, the
Nah,
ingradable Hulk.
good
And then
one.
they didn't explain why he turned green. And they're just like, no, you're colorblind. What do you mean? He's been green this whole time. So Spider-Man, he ditched the black suit for good in Web of Spider-Man #1 while people that you don't care about brought it back as a mystery villain in Web of Spider-Man #18. And so after a couple years of teases, Venom finally made his full debut in Amazing Spider-Man #300. So the idea of him was around for a long time before Venom even showed up in the Spider-Man universe. And it's very, very, very interesting because now he's kind of taken on a whole subculture of his own. Like
Yes.
Venom
Yeah.
I feel like there's some kids now who know Venom but don't really know Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Because
And
he's
that's
like
so
kind of
weird.
like Deadpool. He's like his
the
own
anti-hero. Yeah, and then they had to create Carnage to give him a
Yeah.
villain and everything.
Carnage
And
is so cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
Carnage is
Loved
cool.
Carnage.
So what's your
Brutal.
guys' favorite Spider-Man movie? Because there's a lot. This property has been rebooted more times than James Bond. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy. So, like, what would be your favorite of the movies? I bet I know what yours is.
Yeah,
Vanessa.
I was gonna say I have the most unpopular opinion, but the first round with Tobey Maguire, only because that was like such a different time. Like that was before they were so overproduced, and like I totally like those two, but it was like the first X-Men.
That kind of did like start the whole
It
superhero.
started
Yeah, it was
so
one of 'em.
much,
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
still like. I know people look back and they're like, "Oh, those movies are so terrible." I'm like, because you're used to the ones now, like,
Yeah.
but that's what
Yeah.
we grew up with.
It's true. I remember seeing that movie and thinking, wow, this is a crazy
With the
cool
Green Goblin and
superhero
everything?
film.
Willem
Yeah.
Dafoe was
Yeah.
the Green
Yes,
Goblin.
I
Willem, that was
agree.
perfectly casted.
Yeah.
Willem.
So good.
Willem.
Yeah.
I,
love
I
that
don't
casting.
get that. What?
Oh,
that
that's a
joke.
How I
It's-
Met
it's
Your Mother
basically
joke.
saying
Okay,
that
I don't
Willem
watch
Dafoe
it.
Basically sounds like, what is it, a frog and a bird talking to each other?
Yeah.
That's kind of funny.
Willem.
I
Yep.
get it. Okay.
Willem.
That's good.
Okay, what's your favorite Spider-Man movie?
Yeah. How about
Cam?
you, Cam? Let me guess. The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because everyone loves Dan DeHaan.
No, definitely not that one. I loved the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
So there we go. We got two for two
but
on that
I
one.
also really liked Homecoming.
So you would take the first Tobey Maguire over Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock? I feel
Yeah.
like Doc Ock was a better one.
That's when I started to be like, I'm not into this, because I was like, it doesn't. The narrative didn't work. I felt
Interesting.
like it was all forced. The
Or were
first
you
one
just
was great.
frustrated because Eli Roth wasn't doing a horror film?
I don't know. I think. Sorry, I got distracted. I got two
How dare you
text
get
messages.
dings. Those dings.
Yeah, and
So not so much Doc Ock.
yeah, not so much Doc Ock. I think he's cool,
Yeah.
but
I will tell you this.
I like Willem Dafoe
I
as the Green
saw.
Goblin a lot.
I was pretty young when Spider-Man 2 came out, and I saw it in theaters twice. And I remember both times I saw it in theater, and there's the very like horror-esque scene where he's in the lab after he gets the thing spliced to him, and then they take a mind of their own and they're killing everyone. Both times I saw it, I got like super anxious as like a kid watching that.
It was pretty intense.
It was intense. Yeah, but how about you, Joe? What was your favorite?
I feel like I'm the minority on this.
Amazing Spider-Man.
I thought I was the minority, so.
Spider-Man 3. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
No, but I still feel like I'm the minority. What's the I guess second reboot?
Yeah,
Andrew
so the Amazing
Garfield.
Spider-Man, the first one with Andrew
Spider-Man
Garfield.
Those are
Andrew
good.
Garfield. I do like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker.
Well, the great thing also with Andrew Garfield and that whole series was the chemistry with him and Gwen Stacy. Like
Yeah,
when it
Emma
was
Stone.
in the Tobey Maguire and like
It
Kirsten
felt so
Dunst.
awkward.
That's-
Everything
that's
was
not
awkward
even.
and bad. Yeah, that whole part of it was bad.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like about the Amazing Spider-Man movie, I agree, the chemistry is amazing, but it overshadows everything. The pacing of that movie is awkward because you have scenes that should pan out and go long that don't, and then the scenes where they're just talking in the hallway, it feels like they were just doing ad-lib, and they're like, yeah, just let them talk. And we'll do like 10 minutes of them talking about nothing in the hallway, but then when a plot point shows up, it's like 30 seconds done. Like, it's a
Yeah.
very weird, oddly paced movie. And that always kind of made me feel weird. I'm like, why are we listening to their conversation for 8 minutes right now? This has nothing to do with
we
the
want to
movie.
watch him
Or-
Spider-Manning.
Yeah, I want to
Yeah.
see him Spider-Man as much
Yeah.
as he can
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Plus, it was interesting seeing Gwen Stacy die in the second one.
I
Yeah, say when that was.
know.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers. Let's be honest,
I think everybody knows
everyone-
that now.
I was
They
one
knew
of
even
them.
before it came out.
Well, everyone got super hyped about, oh, Sinister Six is gonna come out, and the Rhino's in it, and Shocker or Electro or whoever it
Electro.
was, and then
Awesome
Hobgoblin or
dubstep
kind of
sounds
Green
every
Goblin.
time he came out.
So like everyone was like, this is gonna be amazing, and I was super stoked for a Sinister Six movie, and then what happens? That was a terrible movie. Like it was so
Yeah,
bad.
you get some
We
hits
saw it
and
in the
misses.
eye
It had
pick.
some
We saw it in the eye pick, and I
moments.
couldn't even enjoy it in the eye pick.
You saw Sinister Six?
Well, Sinister
the
Six never
second
came
one.
out. The second Spider-Man movie,
Oh,
we saw
oh.
that in the eye pick, and even then I was like,
though. It's entertaining.
yeah, I don't know. That movie could have been so much more. I feel like here's the problem. So Dane DeHaan, I love that guy so much, but he's been in things like that movie, Valerian. Like he picks real stinkers of movies sometimes.
Does, but he's great.
But he's a great actor.
What's the other movie that
Oh,
he's in that you and I
Chronicle?
watched? Chronicle.
So good.
Madison hates that movie. I love that movie.
that movie.
And that's the
I've
first
never
time
seen it.
You've never seen Chronicle?
It's
We
not
should
worth
watch
it.
Chronicle together
Chronicle
and
is
do a
excellent.
podcast on it.
I
It's
love that
amazing. It's a
movie.
great movie.
Okay.
It's kind of like what Hancock did for superhero movies, where it's a superhero movie, but
And
not
he, like, throws a
really.
whale?
Well, it's
Yeah,
also
he
like
throws
people
away.
that it's like no familiar characters.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what
So it's
a
essentially
real
it's
person would have
essentially
been if
kind
they
of
had
like
huge
what
powers.
the Power Ranger live action movie should have been. Is what it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
This was more of a Power Ranger movie than the Power Ranger movie was in my opinion.
Madison, why do you not like it?
I literally, Jordan, I told you this story all the time. After we broke up the first time, he invited me to go and see the movie, and I was like still kind of interested in him, so I went and saw the movie, but really I hated it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like such a cool girl, I love that movie. And then when we got back together the second time, I'm like, don't ever make me watch that movie.
Yeah.
That movie was so bad.
Yeah,
That's
she
really
hated
funny.
that movie.
That's really, really
But
funny.
it's just
Yeah.
like it's not really my type of movie. Like
Yeah.
I'm
That
not
movie
really.
is so good.
The movie's
Yeah.
They're
really
supposed
good.
to be coming out with a second one or something.
Sometimes you just don't want them to.
Yeah,
And it's okay.
But that movie is so great.
I'm okay with
that
it.
ending scene of them fighting in Seattle. Oh my gosh, it's such a
Okay,
good
so
movie.
now, guys, that
On.
we've talked about Spider-Man a little bit, let's play a little bit of a fun trivia game
Let's
here.
do it. I like
Yeah.
This is the villain trivia. Since Spider-Man is known to have the best rogues gallery, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 3 clues. I'm going full Ryan Buds on
Let's
you
do
right
it.
now. I'm going to give you 3
Okay.
clues,
Okay.
and let's see if you can guess who the villain is. All right? So this first one's a little bit easy. So I say use your name to call in when you got it. All
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So Spider-Man's arch nemesis has a color fetish, can probably surf really well.
Cam.
Joe.
I think Cam got it.
Green Goblin.
That's Green Goblin.
That was good.
Green.
Yeah.
Were you gonna
Yeah,
say Green
that was
Goblin?
good.
Well, I was trying to decide between Green or Hob.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's why I say
That's
color, fetish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that
Good
makes
job,
sense.
Cam.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
number 2, an alien.
Joe.
He's not done.
Venom.
Yeah, it's Venom. You can
Oh,
call him
good
whenever you
job.
want.
Oh, I
thought we had to wait for all
I was
3.
gonna say an alien, long tongue, Flash Thompson.
Oh, okay.
So that's what I was
That's
gonna say.
good.
So
That's good.
Also, those are the first 2 things people use to describe me.
an alien and long tongue. And then I'm the 3rd. So founder of Sinister Six, almost married Aunt May, appeared in one of the movies. This one's a little bit harder.
Appeared in one of the movies.
I mean, I have a guess, but I
Yeah.
think that's totally wrong.
What?
The only one I know that I remember being in the movie was Rhino.
No, not right
no,
now.
what about
Yeah.
the lizard guy? What's his name?
The lizard.
The lizard?
Was that his name? The
Yeah,
lizard.
the
Was
lizard.
it? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
No, it's
No, it's
not the lizard.
I remember him from the animated. I know it's the guy that has like the dome. That guy.
you
know?
thinking Mysterio?
Yeah, him.
It's not Mysterio.
Damn.
Founder of the Sinister Six.
What are the other?
Cam.
clues?
Almost married Aunt May. What do you
Cam.
think, Cam?
The dirty bubble.
No, not that's a SpongeBob.
Is it Doc Ock?
It's Doc Ock.
Oh,
Dr.
I didn't know.
Octopus almost married
I didn't
Aunt
know that
May.
at all.
Yeah. All right. So big game hunter prefers to take his prey down with his bare hands. Half brother of the chameleon.
Oh shoot.
I could give you one more clue.
Big game hunter.
He's the only person to actually have killed Spider-Man.
Oh shoot.
Wasn't there like some like cat, like kind of almost like Sabretooth looking dude?
There
in
probably
Spider-Man?
is. Every Spider-Man villain is either an animal theme or it's an elemental theme. So
Yeah.
there
That's
probably
true.
was like some type of cat.
I have no idea.
I only want to say Sabretooth, and that's not right.
Can I call
No.
my dad?
I remember.
Your dad
Can
would-
I phone a friend?
Your dad would totally know
I
this.
remember like seeing him in the
So
animated
this-
series.
yeah,
Does he wear a
this-
pith helmet?
I don't know what a pith helmet is.
So
You don't know what a pith helmet is?
Oh,
I'm
it's
just
like that Jumanji helmet that guy with the.
No, he does
thing.
not.
Okay.
But he does wear like furs of like animals he've killed and stuff.
No,
like
see, I'm picturing this person.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
but I
that.
can't
He's super
think
crazy.
of his name.
And like he didn't end up actually killing Spider-Man. He tranquilized gunned him and then buried him alive just to prove that he could take him down, but he still left him alive.
Yeah, I picture
Yo,
him.
that's
but I
dirty.
can't-
Yeah.
He did
I
fun.
can't
He,
think
I,
So it's
I almost called him SpongeBob.
it's
He
Craven.
did Spider-Man
yeah, he
dirty.
did it's Craven the Hunter.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
that
I would have
name.
never gotten that
Yeah.
name.
I would've
So,
not gotten that.
all right. So here's the next one. He's like Jekyll and Hyde, murdered his own son, was created due to a failed experiment to regrow a limb.
Madison.
Yeah.
Lizard.
The Lizard,
Yeah.
Kurt Connor.
Killed his own son.
Yeah, in the
Yeah.
comics.
I didn't know that
he
one.
during so
Damn.
like one of his transformations, he accidentally murdered his son while transforming because he goes like crazy. He can't control it. You know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay, we got 2 more. Beach is his favorite place.
Madison.
Yeah.
Sandman.
is
Yeah.
correct. Yep.
And then yeah. I was gonna say
Awesome.
my third clue is he was defeated by Spider-Man with a vacuum.
Was he really?
He was,
in
yeah,
the
he got
comic.
vacuumed
He
up.
got vacuumed up, and then they handed it to the cops. It was like, here you go.
Yeah.
All right, so final one. He's got the power. His name is
Joe.
Yeah,
Electro.
It is Electro.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was
I'm surprised.
awesome.
My last one was, this is why you shouldn't be fixing power lines while a lightning storm is happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised you
figure.
didn't use what's like the mob boss, like Kingpin? Or?
I was
Kingpin.
thinking Kingpin, but that's also a
Daredevil.
Daredevil villain. I
Yeah.
didn't want to do ones that were too crossover. I wanted to do ones that were strictly Spider-Man.
All right,
Because
fair enough.
Juggernaut is technically a Spider-Man villain too.
Really?
Even though
I
he
didn't know
tussles
that.
with the X-Men more,
Right.
he was in Spider-Man quite a bit. You know. All right, so that was fun. Let's move into Fantastic
I like
Four.
that was a good little Spider-Man
good
Yeah,
little
segment.
Spider-Man
was
trivia.
fun.
We got another trivia down the line a little bit, but let's talk about Fantastic Four real quick because
Okay.
that's supposedly the first family of comics. Like that's supposed to be the epitome, the best family. But they cannot make a movie to save their freaking life.
suck.
No.
Like
They suck
every
bad.
movie was
Horrible.
so bad. And did you know Stan Lee was actually, or not Stan Lee, I'm sorry, he did make cameos in those movies. Wolverine was going to make a cameo in the second Spider-Man, or I'm all over the place.
Fantastic Four.
Second
Four.
Fantastic Four movie because first X-Men had already come out and they were going to do a little funny thing where Reed Richards for some reason could shift his body because a rubber man allows you to shift your face, and he was going to shift into Logan's face like Hugh Jackman's
That
face.
would have been
And
funny.
It would have been funny, but I'm also like, that's not a power he has. That's
Silver
I think it's
Surfer's
also
pretty
they're
cool,
just
though,
looking
now
to
that I think
like tie in all the universes
yeah,
together.
yeah. I don't know. I thought they did a good job with Loki when he turned into Captain America, and that's like the only good part of Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah.
is that part. Okay. Anyway, so they are Mr. Fantastic, Susan Storm. What's her name? Invisible Girl.
Yeah,
Mrs.
Invisible
Mrs.
Woman or
Invisible
something.
Invisible Woman. Human Torch, which is Johnny Storm, and then Ben something the Thing. I forget Ben's last name.
Ben Rock guy.
Ben Rock guy.
Ben Rock.
You guys want to know a fun little tidbit?
Rockwell.
Stan Lee put the myth to bed in 2011, guys. The Thing does have a rocky orange penis, so stop asking the question. Stan Lee put it to bed.
Oh, that's great.
So did you guys know that Fantastic Four visited heaven?
Really?
No.
Yeah, there was a series where Reed has to kill Ben because Doctor Doom takes over Ben's body. So Reed has to kill Ben to stop Doctor Doom. And he feels so bad, so he makes a machine to go to heaven and retrieve Ben's soul. And when they
Interesting.
meet God, God is an impersonation of Jack Kirby.
Who's Jack
What?
Kirby?
Jack Kirby's the guy who drew all of Fantastic
Oh.
Four. He's the one who created it with Stan Lee.
That's funny.
Yeah, so I was like, that's actually pretty clever.
I mean, it does make sense because then he is their god.
Exactly.
You know, like
He's
he
the creator.
created them,
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was pretty fun. Spider-Man and the Human Torch, I guess, are like brothers. They're like best of friends.
Are they?
And they pull pranks on each other
Yeah,
all the
they're
time.
both like the
the goofy,
Yeah.
the
exactly
sarcastic.
one quip kind of people.
Human Torch was in a lot of Spider-Man video games.
Yeah, like they're best friends in the comics, and they pull pranks on each other. And my favorite one is that during a fight, Spider-Man stole Human Torch's underwear and then put it up on a flagpole. Classic. That's so funny.
Nice.
Yeah, that is so
Classic.
funny.
Superheroes are just like you.
Exactly.
Do people do that now?
No, it's like how they say like stars. They're just like you.
Yeah.
I do it.
Except they have a lot more money.
I always
Yeah.
put my own underwear on a flagpole,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh
It's like
no,
the flagpole
someone
outside of-
bullied
You gotta
me.
It's the
salute your
flagpole
shorts.
outside of your
Yeah.
house. This is like-
That's how I do it every morning.
Yeah. So in 1975, did you guys know that there was a Fantastic Four radio serial? And did you know who voiced the Human Torch? Bill Murray.
Attention, all true believers. Marvel Comics is on the air. Out of the pages of the world's greatest comic magazine come the adventures of the Fantastic Four.
Invaded? Well, before we make such a decision, let's observe another scene at Swanson's garage.
We got her purring like a lamb, Johnny boy.
Good, that's the way it should be. There's only one thing I like better than working on cars.
What's that? Hey, look. What's that in the sky?
That's my cue. Flame on.
Hey, Johnny, what's happening to you?
Remember me saying there's only one thing I like better than working on cars? Well, this is it.
Bill Murray voiced the Human
That's
Torch.
awesome.
In
75.
1975, a radio serial. I want to figure out if I can get my hands on that somewhere.
I'm sure it's in an archive somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
how
gotta
do
be
you
on YouTube.
But I guess I didn't search it because I didn't really have a lot of extra time today. But that would be an interesting thing to actually hear. Is Bill Murray doing that? And Bill Murray would have been pretty dang young during that time. 1975. That was way before his like big
I think
movie
he's always
career.
looked old.
That's true. He's always been 50 at least.
He's like the opposite of Paul Rudd.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. Or like Keenan and Kel, those guys have not aged a
Yeah,
day.
they
Like
look
same.
exactly
Goodness.
the same.
All right, so that's Fantastic Four. I don't have much to say about it. I think it would be fun on this podcast to go back and watch the 2000s Fantastic Four movies again. And
I'll
just
do
Oh
it.
yeah.
Have
Yeah.
you
Jessica
seen
Alba?
Did you see the reboot one?
No, I did not. I heard it was
my
so awesome.
gosh,
Did you watch it?
It is bad.
It's bad.
I believe
and
it.
Michael B. Jordan, I love that guy. It's a
He's
bummer.
awesome.
Right, yeah.
He's in that. That's such a bummer. But the one thing I will say, I love Jessica Alba. I'm like, that's so 2000s of them. They're like, hey, let's get the Invisible Girl to be Jessica Alba, and
Yeah.
then let's make it so she's naked and then becomes uninvisible at some point. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, that's great. Way to go,
It has
studio
Captain
heads.
America.
What?
Captain
Yeah.
America's in
That's
it.
true, yeah. Okay.
And break.
I lost my train of thought there. Okay, so let's move into X-Men.
Yay,
X-Mans.
X-Men.
X-Men and the X-Mans. So, did you guys know Stan Lee did not create Wolverine?
No.
So, Wolverine was not in the X-Men series for a while. So, X-Men was created in the 60s, I think it was, and they went for a 66-issue run, and then it got canceled because no one was digging it. And then Wolverine was created to be a foil for the Hulk, someone that the Hulk could battle.
Okay.
And Wolverine's powers were explained as a mutation. So then they were like, well, we're going to revamp X-Men. We should bring, like, everyone's loving Wolverine, and you guys explained it as a mutation. We should bring it in here. And that's when they brought it in, and that's when X-Men took off.
So
It's
Wolverine revamped X-Men.
pretty much. The inclusion of Wolverine is what made the X-Men franchise become what it is and actually stick, which is pretty cool. It's also weird that Wolverine wasn't in, like, he's such
Yeah, you can't
the
imagine
face
it
of it
without him.
Is
that
X-Men.
there
you
was
know?
a run of X-Men that
Mm-hmm.
didn't
him.
have him in it. That's so weird to me. So want to hear about some weird mutant powers that no one ever really
Yes,
talks
100%.
about? The weird
Yes.
mutants. Okay.
This is my favorite.
Okay.
This is gonna be my favorite part of the whole
so
podcast.
so there's a guy named Ice Cream.
Does he just make ice? Does he just make ice cream out of his eyeballs?
So worse, he can turn himself into any ice cream flavor.
Love it.
I have questions. So I feel like that would be a great power to have if you could turn anything into an ice cream.
Yeah.
Like that would be great.
But
like,
not turn yourself.
But turning yourself. So how does
What
that
happens
power
when they
work?
eat you?
Exactly. What?
Or Jordan and I always say,
What?
like, there has to be, like, in the X-Men universe, like, somebody with some pretty sucky powers.
Oh,
Not
I'm
everybody could
getting
be
to some of 'em.
Magneto.
I'm
And
getting to
yeah,
some of
that's
'em.
so
Ice
sucky.
cream guy. I'd hate to be at the end of that exchange once they eat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then
you-
he turns back into a human in their stomach.
Or he'll come out in
Or-
about
Yes.
24 hours, 12 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
Or if you're lactose intolerant, way less. time.
Way less time, yeah. So there's a guy named Gold Balls. And I can't confirm or deny whether he has golden testicles, but he does shoot giant gold balls from his body at people. That's
What part of his body?
his stomach. He's just like,
And that's
and they're golden. My question is, are they actual gold? Because that's a great power. You could create gold. Like, I'm totally just gonna make millions of dollars for myself.
the names.
Gold balls. It reminds me of like Austin Powers.
that would be cool, right? Like
Gold
if you could like shoot
member.
like golden energy or like golden actual like cannonballs out of your
Yeah.
stomach, right? That's cool. And then like they're like, oh man, this is a cool thing, and they slide it to someone, and he's like, gold balls,
Gold balls.
It just
I just
ruins it.
imagine that when he's shooting his gold ball, he just goes, gold.
Gold member?
Yeah, like gold member. Gold. So there's a guy named Ugly John.
Oh, poor John.
And you
Poor
want to know why he's
John.
Ugly John? He has 3 faces, and all 3 of them are ugly.
Aww.
That's his mutation?
His mutation is 3 faces, and they're all ugly.
Is he trying to join the X-Men in this episode?
You judge him like he walks in, and they're like, and they're like, what's your name?
money back. Just give it back.
Like, what's your name? And he's like, my name's John. And then like Kitty Pryde's like, ugly John.
Ugly John, yeah. You know, I figured they would have named him Pretty Junks. You know, like in mobs, like the really fat dudes, like Little Tony or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like
Tiny.
Pretty Boy
Yeah, call
John.
him Tiny.
Yeah, so that's funny. There's a guy named Zeitgeist, and his superpower is he vomits acid. So
kinda cool.
he just opens
Yeah, I
his
can
mouth
do
and
that
it's like
one.
acidic, like barf.
Yeah.
It just hits you.
That one's only weird
Interesting.
for you because you're
Yeah,
so
I
scared
don't like
of
throw up,
vomiting. But
so
for
I would
everybody
never
else,
use
it's
my
not that
power.
weird.
I don't think anyone likes throw up, Jordan.
No.
But he's,
I
like,
mean,
actually
I would
terrified.
rather be stuck in a case of spiders being dumped on me than have to throw up.
That sounds horrific. I would rather throw up.
No.
Make the guy like
Every
super
day.
athletic and be able to fight, and he's basically Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
It's true.
That is
well,
true.
Like I was reading a little like blurb on him, and they're like, this would not be a good person to do a pub crawl with.
No.
He's just barfing and drunk, and you're like, whoa, don't get it on me.
It's basically
That's bad.
Alien.
Yeah, exactly.
it's a
So
xenomorph.
there's a guy named Jazz. And when you hear the name Jazz, you imagine that he would be able to like pull a saxophone out of nowhere and
Yeah.
like do jazz. His mutation is his skin is blue. That's it. Blue skin. Nothing else. Can't do anything else. His skin's blue.
It's like the sad version of Mystique.
Yeah.
There's
So I'm
that
like,
version of the Beast.
you have
Yeah.
a way
Or
cool
Nightcrawler.
name for what yours is.
Nightcrawler, yeah.
Your name should literally be blue dabba dee
know.
dabba die. That should be your name.
Nice Eiffel 65.
reference. Yeah.
That should be it.
Yeah. Did he start the Blue Man Group?
He probably did.
Oh, there's so
well,
many
you
blue
know,
references to be
I
made.
Listen
blew
up.
myself as a
'Cause here's the story about a
Listen
little
This is
guy.
up.
song.
Here's the story about a little boy who
Oh.
had blue skin. His name is Jazz. Okay, so last one here. Her name is Layla Miller.
What's a good name?
Good
It is a
name.
good name.
Do you know what her power is? Because that gives nothing
She's
away.
basic.
Layla Miller.
She can
she
like
loves pumpkin spice lattes. No,
she can grind up wheat really well.
Grind up
She does a lot of-
Miller.
She does a lot of lays.
She mills.
no. So she can resurrect people from the dead.
Oh,
Whoa.
The caveat is she can't bring their soul back. So she's resurrecting zombies.
So she's just a necromancer.
She's the origin of the zombie
A
apocalypse.
necromancer.
Yeah.
She's a necromancer.
That's
Yeah.
a great villain.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I
Interesting.
don't think she's a villain. I think she's a hero.
But then she
She
uses
should
the
be a
zombies to
villain.
fight other people?
I
Or
don't
like a
know.
meat shield?
But yeah, because
Meat
a
shield.
meat shield.
That is the best thing I've
what's
ever
the-
heard. A meat shield.
What's the Mortal Kombat character's name? Who raised Ermac? She's like Ermac.
Ermac. Oh, yeah, Ermac's
like
sick.
can raise up the dead. So there were some other ones in there that were really weird too. That were like everyone knows Jubilee, even though she was in the X-Men anime series. Let's be honest, Jubilee
shoots
is
fireworks
stupid.
out of
Yeah,
her
she
hands,
shoots
right?
fireworks. An 11-year-old kid could have that power. Come on, it's dumb. So yeah, there's some really weird ones out
Who
there.
was your guys' favorite X-Man? X-person.
My favorite X-person?
X-Mutant.
Always
That's
Rogue
good.
for me.
Rogue for
Rogue.
you.
But do you like the animated version of Rogue or the TV?
No, I
'Cause
like
they're-
the movie one.
Yeah, because they're very different.
But if I had to be anyone, I would want to be Mystique. For
yeah,
Sure.
Mystique's cool. I think her power is the best overall, only because it's very useful. But my favorite, that's really, I want to say
know.
something like random. Like I don't know. I like Blink.
Blink is pretty cool.
I would like to teleport.
Now that I learned.
It's easy.
Well, yeah, that's
it's
why,
useful. It's like I just go over there. Shoop. Okay.
That's why, like, always as a kid, Wolverine was my favorite.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
the one power I wish I would have would be Nightcrawler.
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
better than Blink. Yeah, Nightcrawler's better than Blink 'cause it's even quicker. Blink has to actually like open the portal and like, and he's just like, boop. Yeah.
My favorite was Cyclops when I was little because he had glasses like me, so I could like
Yes.
totally
Nice.
relate to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I
Yeah.
liked Billy the Blue
Does
Ranger.
anyone like Psylocke? Is she like a favorite of anyone?
I like her as Olivia
Yeah,
Munn.
you like Olivia Munn. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I think
Was Professor X anyone's favorite?
probably not because who wants
Only
to
in
be
the
an
new
old bald dude?
No, in the new ones where
James
he's like
McAvoy,
young
yeah.
and like yeah.
I don't know.
Or,
Captain
Sid.
Picard's my Xavier.
I did like
Yeah.
Beast though.
You
Yeah,
like
Beast
Beast as a
is fun.
character?
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
I dug Beast. I was
Beast
like,
is cool.
I was like, he's dope.
He's like the hairy
another-
version of Wolverine.
but he's like super intellectual.
That's true.
And that's
He
what I
is
loved about him.
very
He's like
intellectual.
very incredibly brilliant, but like was so burly.
As a kid, another favorite of mine was Gambit.
Oh
Yeah, Gambit.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about Gambit.
Yeah, with his cards. I was like, this guy's cool.
This is the sound of me
Eh.
pretending to throw cards.
That's pretty good.
And he was suave. He was good with the
Yeah.
ladies.
Yeah.
He had a thing for Rogue.
I want to see John
Didn't
Hamm
we all?
be Gambit.
You want to see who?
John Hamm.
John Hamm would be pretty cool. Yeah. John Hamm would be really good. What was I just watching that John? Oh, he was in Parks and
Yeah,
Rec.
he was
Yeah,
in
he showed
Parks
up in
and
the
Rec.
last
That's
season of Parks
amazing.
and Rec. Yeah.
Wait, can I tell you a little side story about
Tell the
Beast?
side story.
You're
Yeah.
talking about Beast like in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kelsey Grammer Beast.
right. So we're watching Real Housewives because that's like my favorite show ever. And one of the housewives is like my like prestigious actor husband and is like talking and I'm like, I've never heard of this guy before. And then I'm like, oh, he does look familiar. And she's like, he's won these Grammys and blah blah blah. I'm like, oh, it's Beast. Like, but
Not
apparently
Frasier.
he's like
he's Beast.
yeah, he's like a big actor. I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like,
he's
oh,
a
I
big
know
actor.
him from X-Men.
Yeah. It's so funny. I like that he was Beast. I feel like because
He was
you're
a
right.
great Beast.
Because he's supposed to be like the Beast side of him is just the peripheral side. He's supposed to be the intellectual, political type guy who's smart. Like that's just a side gig is what's going on as Beast, you know. So let's play a little bit of a game here now. I got another game for you guys for X-Men. So we're going to say, what's their real name? Or no, I'm going to give you their real name. And you're going to tell me what's their mutant name.
Okay, that's a little bit better.
So I watch a TV show called The Gifted, and it's an X-Men TV show. And if no one's checked it out yet, go to Fox, go watch it. It's a great show. Also Legion. Legion is amazing too. But The Gifted is a little bit easier to follow. And they put in there how they get their mutant names is there's like this underground mutant rebellion type people, and they give everyone names there. So the girl's like, my name's Sandra, whatever. And they're like, no, what do you do? She's like, well, I kind of blink, like teleport and blink. And he's like, your name is Blink. And I'm like,
there's like some guy with like a typewriter, and he's like, the intern.
Yeah,
he's like,
he's taking it down.
Squid Jones.
But do you guys know what? do you guys know what Jubilee's real name is?
I didn't even know what Jubilee is.
Jubilee, the X-Men character, the one who shoots fireworks out of her hands.
I have no idea.
So her real name is Jubilation Lee.
So her name is
Jubilee. Like, what? That's dumb.
That's such a dumb name. It made Joe sneeze.
Yeah. Joe sneeze.
I had to get
He's
that
allergic to bullshit.
I don't know what that was, but I'm allergic.
So Charles Xavier.
Professor X.
Yeah.
Professor X.
All right, that was the easy one. This one's a little easy too, actually. Bobby Drake.
Bobby Drake is Iceman.
He is Iceman.
Good job, Joe.
All right.
Go, Joe.
Hank McCoy.
Hank
The
McCoy's the
Beast.
Beast.
Beast, yes. Warren Kenneth Worthington III.
Warren Kenneth Worthington III.
What a
I don't know
douchey
why,
name.
but
I
Worthington is like standing out to me.
Think about the douchiest character, or I guess he isn't the douchiest character, but think about like, so he was in the third movie. I'll give you that. Everyone's favorite X-Men movie.
So I never watched any of the X-Men movies.
Wait.
I only
Really?
watched animated series when I was a kid.
That's
yeah.
my least
Wait,
favorite
so he's in
one. I
the
don't
third
really
one?
He's in the
remember.
third one.
Only the third one.
Only the third one.
I have no idea.
Actually, he may be in the most recent one too, the Apocalypse one, but I can't remember. That was an awful movie.
Is he the steel guy?
Yeah, that could have been so good.
No, not Colossus. That dude's like a Russian name, like Petrov something or other.
I don't know.
So he's Angel Archangel.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Duh.
All right, Kurt Wagner.
Kurt Wagner is
Yeah,
Nightcrawler.
Yeah. Aurora Monroe.
Rogue.
Rogue.
No.
Oh.
Aurora.
Aurora.
Oh, wait, Storm.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is Storm.
Duh.
Elizabeth Braddock.
Elizabeth Braddock?
Is that who's the one that can go through walls?
I think she can, but I don't know. I'm not positive.
Can't.
Not Katie?
Not
Katie
no.
something? No, I
Not
mean
Kitty
the one
Pryde.
that
That's
can
not
go
Kitty
through
Pryde.
walls.
Yeah, Kitty Pryde could go through walls. I think. No,
I
this
have no
is
idea.
Joe's favorite character.
It is?
Olivia Munn's character? Who's that?
Psylocke?
Yeah, it's Psylocke.
Teamwork.
That's not my favorite
No, I
character.
know.
but okay.
I'm,
But
I'm
Olivia
making a
Munn's
joke.
great.
All right,
Jennifer
Kane
Lawrence
Kane
as-
Marco.
Kane Marco?
Yeah,
Man, this is like a super riveting trivia round. Let's just
I
think
know.
about
Us just be like, there's people listening right now going, "Oh, no, come
Yeah,
on,
like,
come on,
you got this,
Come on."
I'm going to start guessing.
Yeah.
Pyro.
Not Pyro. Is there a guy named
There is
Pyro?
There's a
Pyro.
Pyro.
Oh no, the not Pyro.
Wow, you just see that look of disgust
Yeah.
Madison
I was
just
like,
I know
gave
she was
you?
like, wow,
Like, what is
you
wrong
idiot,
with
Jordan.
you?
He sounds stupid.
That's it. Go
You
to
guys,
your room.
you guys give it up.
Yeah.
It's the Juggernaut.
That's what I said.
Oh, you said Juggernaut.
Yeah,
I
did you guys
didn't
ever
hear
say
you.
Juggernaut?
No, sure. Raven.
I'm the Juggernaut, bitch.
Raven.
Just Raven?
Well, I
it
couldn't
Raven?
pronounce her last name, so
Is
I
it?
did.
Does she play Raven?
No. I don't think
I don't
Raven's.
Raven's
next.
in Teen Titans.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Raven's.
I don't
not
know.
Come on, you guys, Raven.
Raven.
Is it
Rogue.
Rogue.
No.
Oh, is it
Raven.
Jubilee?
I feel like I should know. It sounds
They say
very
her
familiar.
name all the time in the movies.
Okay, it's easy for you to say. You have the answers.
Yeah, duh.
Raven.
Okay, don't say it yet, though.
Yeah.
Is it a
What?
female character?
It
Wait,
is
try
a
to
female
say the
character.
last name.
I didn't even write it down. It had a bunch of oolongs and weird symbols, and I was like, not even touching that one.
Raven. And it's a girl. It can't be Jean Grey or Storm
No.
or Rogue.
No.
Who else do we have left?
Mystique.
It is Mystique.
Oh.
I did know
Yep.
that.
Go.
Raven.
There you
All right,
go.
Victor Creed.
I feel like I should know this one too.
Michael B. Jordan.
No.
Creed.
That's
Apollo
good.
Creed.
I will give you a half a point for that.
Victor. That's so familiar.
I know. I don't know.
Was he the fire one?
Sabretooth.
It is Sabretooth.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm just making stuff up.
Laura Kinney.
I know
Laura
that.
Croft.
No.
Yeah, from Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Laura Kinney.
That's Kitty Pryde.
No.
That's Rogue.
No.
That's Kitty Pryde.
No.
Who is it?
It's X-23.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
For anyone who hasn't seen Logan.
Yeah, Logan yet. Two more. David Haller. I love this guy
David
in the TV show.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
either.
just mentioned
The Blob.
No, the Blob would have been a good one to put in here. It's Legion. David Haller is
okay,
Legion.
okay.
So it's Professor Xavier's kid. Scott Summers.
Oh,
That's
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
That is Cyclops, and that's all of them. All right, cool. So let's.
What's Magneto's name?
Eric something.
Eric Von
Eric
something.
Von Liechtenstein.
Von
Yeah.
Liechtenstein.
Nice
We used Eric Von Liechtenstein. And what was Kevin Bacon's character's real name too?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
Because what was his X-Men character too? How am I drawing a blank on that?
I don't
Kevin
remember.
Bacon? Oh, he was like Shaw? No.
Oh yeah, Derek Shaw or some no. Now I'm thinking
Steven Shaw.
I'm thinking Shaw from
Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyways.
whatever.
That was a fun round
Let's
on
move
X-Men.
into lesser known heroes and villains that Stan Lee
Okay.
created.
I'm into this.
Yeah, this is fun stuff. So do you guys know there's a hero called Unicorn
No.
or a villain named Unicorn?
Oh, it's a villain on
a
top
villain
of it.
named Unicorn, and it's not just a dude obsessed with being a brony. So it was a villain to Iron Man, and he had a mechanical horn that shoots freaking laser beams out of it.
I love
was
this.
good.
Yeah, Unicorn, really funny.
Gotta make this
check that
movie.
out. So have you guys heard of the Backstreet Project?
Are they back all right?
All right.
Yeah.
So it's literally the Backstreet Boys as superheroes.
Oh, and they rock their bodies?
So there was a spaceship that crashed near one of their concerts, and for some reason, only they got powers. And their names are respectively Ninja Man, Illusioneer, Ordnance, Top Speed, and Power Lord. Now, these names.
It's like with half of them they tried, and the other half
yeah,
they were like,
these ones are a little weird to me. So he's like Ninja Man, and I'm like, wait, so you're a ninja? Just a ninja. You didn't need to tell us.
no, he's a ninja man.
So he's a man. Is that like Batman? So he's a man that dresses up like a bat, but doesn't really have any superpowers.
And
so
is
it's a
afraid
man.
of ninjas.
So it's a man that's literally he's afraid of. It's literally a man
Hold
who
on,
dresses
you
up like a
just-
ninja.
It bothers me so much when people say Batman isn't a superhero, and they're like, he's
No,
just
he's a
man. I'm like,
superhero.
I would say he's a
doing
hero.
super things. Like
He's-
he doesn't have a superpower, but he's a superhero.
No, his
You don't
superpower
need to
is
have
he's
a
really good at
superpower
CrossFit.
He's
to
very
be a superhero.
His superpower is he's very rich.
He's very rich and ripped. He's
Yeah.
the two R's.
But he
he
goes
fixed
out.
his broken back by doing push-ups.
Exactly. That is a superpower.
We have a friend who, Rosh, who had a broken back and thought that was a great way to fix it as well because Bruce Wayne is his idol.
Is that a real
He's-
story?
That is a real story.
He soon found out that is not
That's
the
not
way
the
you
right
fix
way to fix
a
your broken back.
Oh my
Yeah. So that was bad.
Hang on, let's revisit that.
So Ninja Man, I have a problem with that. Illusioneer, I'm also like, so are you
Sounds
an
like
illusionist?
Imagineer.
It's
Wait,
a-
is that like the son of Stryker, the one who was like able to put like illusions in the other people that he can make them see whatever they want?
Okay.
I
Okay,
remember
fine.
that
I'll
guy.
let that one pass then. But I like that one of their names is Ordnance. And his superpower is he
He's
goes
ordinary?
he goes into city council and goes, in Ordinance B12-4 Section 3,
He just,
you're
like-
not allowed to have your dog off a leash in this park,
He just
sir."
knows penal codes.
Yeah, that's it. Ordnance. His superpower is he just knows every penal code everywhere.
He's the master of
Then
the
there's a guy
penal
named
code.
Top Speed, like I said, which
Is he fast? I'm assuming he's
no,
fast.
I imagine that he only can go to a certain speed, but no one says what it is. So it's kind of like I think that it's speed limits. So when he's in residential areas, he can only go 25 miles an hour. But that's it. Madison does not think I'm funny right now. And then
I
the
think
last
that's
guy
funny.
is Power
I
Lord.
think that's really
which,
funny.
Power Lord.
Yeah, Power Lord. I don't know. I don't
Was
have a
he
funny
the
quip
Lord
for
of
that one.
Power?
He is the Lord of Power. He has a bunch of Nintendo Power Gloves.
Oh, just more than two?
Yeah, he has like 3 on top of each hand.
Oh, man, he's the coolest.
Yeah, and now we're playing with Power Lord. So there's a guy named Egghead.
Oh, I wonder what he looks
And-
like.
Adam Sandler.
Yep, he's a supervillain doctor with a head shaped like an egg. Yeah, so pretty much Adam Sandler, I guess. Okay, So there's one a series that Stan Lee did called The Governator,
Oh, nice.
which is no joke. It's a real thing.
It does it feature Arnold Schwarzenegger?
So yes, it's a real thing that never got released that Stanley worked on, where Arnold Schwarzenegger leaves politics and becomes a crime-fighting hero, but it never got released because before it could, Arnold Schwarzenegger got caught with his pants down.
Did he do
that-
Stripperella too? Do you remember that TV show?
Oh,
that
you
was voiced
you did
by-
my last one.
No way.
I was
Oh,
gonna
okay.
mention Stripperella at the end.
I
We'll get
remember-
there.
yeah,
We'll
okay,
get there,
we'll get
Cam.
there.
We'll get there. So he created a villain called Dr. Droom with
Not
an
Dr.
R.
Doom?
Not Dr. Doom. Dr. Droom.
Dr. Doom's nephew?
No,
No,
So-
Dr. Drew,
So
the
this wasn't
radio
actually a
personality?
villain. So this guy was before Doctor Strange, and he was essentially the same as Doctor Strange. He got mystical powers, but the bad thing is that when he got the mystical powers, he turned Asian.
What?
He turned Asian, and there's a panel I saw where his bubble is like, my eyes are slanting. What is going on?
Oh my
I was like,
God.
wow, so politically incorrect, so bad,
racist.
so bad.
Much racism.
He created a villain
racism, it's
to the
killing me.
Fantastic Four called Awesome Android.
Oh, dude, I hope it's a really cool robot.
It's a
What
really
if it
cool robot.
wasn't?
But here's what's weird. It came out in the 60s, not even the 90s. You imagine when you hear Awesome Android, that was like a
Yeah.
90s thing?
Yeah.
Nope. Came out in the 60s. He created people called Goom and Googum. Now, these are two people, a father and son from Planet X, just like Groot. So they're kind of like Groot. But here's the bad thing. So there's a story arc where they get captured on the Monster Isle or whatever that is. And on Valentine's Day, Goom tries to find a mate on Earth. So imagine a tree and a female woman getting together.
Oh, like the beginning of Evil Dead?
Does that happen in Evil Dead? I've
I
never
have
seen
not
Evil
played
Dead.
Evil Dead.
No, the movie.
No, the movie.
Oh.
You
With
told
the-
me you saw it a
with
while
the-
ago,
Oh,
like
wait,
a year
yeah.
ago. or
Oh,
something.
wait, the
The
tree.
tree.
Yeah, that part is super awkward.
Yeah. So that's weird. So this isn't a Stanley creation, but I wanted to mention it because it's kind of peripheral to Goom. There's a villain called Tim Booba, and
Booba?
Tim Booba is
from
a microscopic planet that resides on our Earth, and he wanted to take over the microscopic universe, but it got wiped out because a drop of water from our Earth destroyed the whole microscopic universe.
Poor
Drop
Tim
of
Booba.
water.
Poor Tim Booba.
I like Tim Booba.
Tim Booba.
Yeah.
That
He
poor
sounds
guy.
adorable.
And then finally, the last one I was going to mention is Stripperella. I actually remember this coming out on Spike, and I
Spike,
watched a few
I did
episodes
too.
of it. And it's pretty much Pamela Anderson is a secret agent stripper. So it's like
Nice.
Archer before Archer.
Yeah.
Like essentially.
The only thing that I remember about the show at all, is that she puts on diamond cutter pasties and cuts a circle in a piece of glass with her boobie to go inside. That's all I remember.
I don't remember that. I thought she had a stiletto that turned into a gun or something.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think I remember that. I watched
Isn't that
maybe
like
2
Planet Terror?
episodes and that was it. Yeah.
I only
But
remember the
that's a
boob-
real
the
thing that
boob
happened.
Boop thing's pretty cool.
Boop, yeah, the boop thing. What movie is it? Isn't there? No, I think it's the Robin Williams stand-up where he's like, "Oh, it's so cold in here. If I wanted to get into the bank or whatever, he'd be like, I just use my nipple." I'd be like, on the glass. So yeah, that's fun. So that's all the ones I have of Stan Lee's creations. The
Cool.
ones we all know, the lesser known ones. But yeah, Stan Lee was a man. He was the man.
He was the man.
The man.
Yeah, who created so much stuff that we all love now. That dude had to be loaded with, if he even got 0.01% royalty off of everything he created, he'd be a billionaire.
Did he have children?
Yes, he did. I don't know how many. I know his
He had
wife
4,
passed away.
and they were
Oh,
fantastic.
is that what it, 4 kids?
Fantastic Four.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you even fooled the host.
Yeah. That was
Ba-dum.
that was exactly a joke I would make, and I
Yeah.
didn't even get it.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. All right. So I do want to mention one thing here, though, before we go, guys. So those of you who live in Southern California or who have been following the news know that we've had some pretty crazy fires over here in California. We've had the Woolsey fire.
Shit's
and then
getting real.
Yeah, and then we've had the fire up north that claimed 58 lives, which is the deadliest fire in history in our
58 so
country.
far.
Yeah, so far. So the Dudes Brewing Company, which we've promoted them a few times on this podcast before, they're doing donation boxes at all their locations for the victims and for people who've lost their houses and
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So they have tasting rooms all over Southern California. So, if you're in there, throw a few bucks in there, help out a family. Also, they're doing actually, I shouldn't even mention on this because last night, on Tuesday night, which this comes out on Wednesday, they did a benefit concert or a benefit comedy show.
Oh, that's great.
That they're doing fundraisers for. So I'm going to mention that on our Stoked on This
Stoked on This,
episode.
yeah.
But just go donate a little bit if you can. People need your help.
Yeah, definitely.
And everything. So
Now, Jordan.
yes. Oh, you love to quiz me.
I love to quiz you. I love to quiz the hosts.
Yes. Quiz the host.
And so, Cam, you're welcome to play along.
Okay, I'll play.
You can say your name to answer.
Okay.
This is going to be around the Marvel Cinematic
Is
Universe.
this like Stump Stick Stickly?
Kind of.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember
You had
that.
to Stump Stick Stickly.
Can I buzz in with Madison?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Okay.
Could I buzz in with Hogard?
So I'm going to say...
Just goes right past it.
So I'm going to say an actor.
Okay.
And you're going to tell me which movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe they've been in.
So not character, but what movie?
Yes.
And they won't have been in multiple.
No.
Okay, let's do this thing.
All right.
Like a chicken
that's
wing.
Actually, some of them have been in multiple.
Okay.
Now, okay. So, for example, your very first one is Terrence Howard.
So I say Jordan.
Yes.
And I would say Iron Man.
Correct. Because
Okay.
he was Warhammer before.
Yes, before
Yeah.
what's his face came in.
Don
Yeah,
Cheadle.
Don
Yeah.
Cheadle.
Number 2, Tommy Lee Jones.
Jordan. The Hulk.
Incorrect.
What movie was he in?
Balls.
What is it?
It's
Oh,
Captain America.
Your second name is Balls.
My
Go
second
for
name
it.
is
Yeah.
Balls. It's Captain America.
It is Captain America,
Yeah,
the first Avenger.
Avenger.
He was the military guy,
That's
basically.
right.
Fun note. Some people think my dad looks a little bit like Tommy Lee Jones. I think that's just because they're white and have saggy skin. Okay, moving on to the next
They
one.
really look nothing alike.
Yeah.
Okay, so not Psylocke, Olivia Munn.
And this is Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yep.
Olivia Munn.
Olivia Munn has been in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Did they do Attack of the Show on G4 in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Was that what she was on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was on that.
Oh my
Anyone?
gosh. I'm just gonna throw a guess out there. Iron Man 2.
You are correct.
Because it's the only one I can't remember. Like
Moly.
Olivia Munn played Chess Roberts.
The
in
reporter
The
chick.
reporter in Iron Man 2.
she's in Monaco. I totally remember that now.
I'm really
Oh my
bad at
gosh.
this.
You are really bad at this.
Yeah.
All right.
This is why I'm the host, guys.
Number 4, UFC fighter George St. Pierre.
Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
Yeah.
not like the first. That was. Oh yeah. That was that guy that was in Spider-Man.
That was Randy Savage.
Yeah, Randy Savage.
Yeah.
George St. Pierre. What would he even be in?
Got Cam, is he in Thor? Ragnarok?
He is not in Thor Ragnarok. He does play a villain though. Anyone?
Oh man, I'm just gonna. I'll throw another random one out there. I will say one that I don't. Oh man, I don't know. Ant-Man.
George St. Pierre plays Barton the Leaper in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Wait, Barton the
That's
Leaper.
cool.
Who is that?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's cool. Let's move on to the next one.
Seth Green.
What?
Green Hornet. Oh wait, Seth Green,
No,
not
that's
Seth
Seth
Rogen. Seth Green.
I can't remember
Seth
Seth Green in
Green.
any
Me
of these.
neither.
Cam, Black Panther.
Incorrect.
Jordan, the original It. Oh wait. Oh my gosh, Hulk.
Incorrect.
Okay, I don't know.
Seth Green was in Guardians of the Galaxy as Howard the Duck.
You're right.
That is
That's not
right.
him though. That's his voice.
Oh, it's him,
That's
the
so
voice.
hard.
It's him.
That's
It's
so
him.
hard.
Him.
Oh, I totally
Good
forgot
one.
about that. Is good.
Awesome.
I totally forgot about that one. That's good. That is good.
Rachel McAdams.
Oh, Jordan, Doctor Strange.
Correct.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange playing Christine Palmer. Last one that I have for you. Miley Cyrus.
Jordan, Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Correct.
Yeah.
As the voice of Mainframe.
Yep, I did know that.
Miley?
Miley's in it, and then because Sylvester Stallone's in that movie. There's a
Correct.
bunch
Yeah,
of
there's a
random
bunch of
people
random
in that
cameos.
movie. Yeah, so that's why I do that one.
So
I'm just a huge Miley fan.
do you guys like how I let Jordan win?
Yeah, thanks, Cam.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome,
love when
man.
you guys boost my ego, so I keep asking you to be back on the show.
Yeah.
There's a little host trivia.
So
for
that was
you.
fun. I like being a part of the trivia. I never get to
Yeah,
be
you
a part
don't-
of
Yeah,
it. So that was
exactly.
fun. I
Yeah,
enjoy that a lot.
include you in a little bit.
for sure. All right. So if
Plug
you
it
want to
up.
find us on social media, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at WreckMyPodcast. You can also email us at wreckmypodcast@gmail.com. We're on all major podcasting apps and YouTube. Give us a rating, a review, and subscribe. We also have a Patreon, so go there and help us financially. We have 2 patrons right now I'd like to shout out. Ryan Buds of Trivia with Buds and
buddy.
Cole Phen of Cole Phen. So, yes, thank you guys. I'm going to be implementing something new. I'm working on getting a website for the podcast.
Okay.
And I'm going to be putting affiliate links on there, one for Amazon. So you could go to our website, click the button. It takes you to Amazon, just like you would go to Amazon any other way. But everything you buy gives us a little bit of a percentage of that.
That's cool.
So you could literally buy anything. You could buy. Everyone buys everything on Amazon. You buy your toilet paper
Holidays
there.
are coming up.
Yeah, holidays are coming up, man. You don't spend any more money, and we make a little bit, so that's nice. The other thing is, I'm gonna get a code for Loot Crate, which means again, a great holiday gift for people, or if you just want it for yourself, gift yourself.
Yeah.
You go
I've never
on, you're
had
gonna
it.
get
It's
it. You
pretty cool.
put our code in, we get $8. You spend no more, we make a little bit of money. I know Patreon's a little weird because it's like. The rewards are like, yeah, if you like the show, the rewards are cool.
Right.
But this is where you can get real things you're getting anyway and still help us financially.
Right.
So we're going to get that set up in the next week or 2 here, and then I'll be able to put that stuff on there. So just wanted to shout that out. We have episodes come out every Wednesday. Stoked on this comes out every Monday. I want to get back to our Wreck the Internets.
Yeah, that was
Fridays.
fun, but we'll
That
have
was
to do it
fun.
eventually.
Yeah,
That was fun.
it's been a little crazy with my schedule. But thank you guys for coming here and doing this. Thank you, Madison.
Yeah, thanks. I'm your wife. I'm your wife, Madison. This is me, Madison. Definitely 100% Madison. My maiden name was
Not Stylinger.
Wood. My maiden name was Wood. My name was Madison Wood. And I love you, Jordan.
Oh, I just love my wife. Okay, thank you.
Do you like how I moved to her
Yeah,
microphone?
you moved to that mic. Like you didn't need to,
No.
but it was more natural and
This
organic that
this
way.
microphone only picks up
Yeah,
deep
it's
voices.
Cam only
Yeah.
mic. Madison mic.
Madison Mike.
That mic picks up deep voices and meat wad.
And Meatwad.
Yeah, deep voices.
Oh, Meatwad. Meatwad's back. Meatwad was really good at that X-Men trivia, man. He just said that he likes watching X-Men every day. His favorite X-Men is Tattoo. His other favorite X-Men is Apple Chips.
Tattoo like the lesbian group from the 90s.
Yeah.
Hey,
All
that
the
was a-
things
that
you
was
said,
a-
all
that
the
was
things
a
you
music
said
video,
running through
though.
my head. Running
And
through
on
my
that
head.
note, thank you to our guest, because without you, thank you to our listeners.
Yeah, that's
because
good.
You're
without you
welcome,
guys-
Jordan.
Yeah, thank you to you guys.
Anytime,
Thank
man.
you to you guys, and thank you to our listeners, because without you, it would be a sad group of people talking to no one. Although, it'd still be fun. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Bye. Blue eyes.
When I was younger, I did have blonde hair when I was a baby.
Really?
Yeah.
Different question.
I did too.
I had tons of blonde hair, and then I dyed it. And you should dye it. So yeah,
Great segue.
Are back.
we are
Yeah,
back.
let's do it.
Okay, hang on. I want to do another round of checks real quick, just
Okay.
because I want to make sure everything's good, because we've had so many problems. Go,
Yeah.
Joe.
Check. 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3.
It's sounding far away. The level's good, but it's sounding far away in my headphones.
Hang on. Is it? Well, have everyone else go. Maybe everyone else is sounding far away in your headphones.
Oh wait, that sounds better. Here, go again.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Check.
That's a
check.
lot better.
1, 2, 3. Where's the volume just down on the headphones?
Yeah. Okay, go Cam.
Hey, it's Cam. This is me. I'm going to talk at this level for the entire time.
Yes.
I'm not ever going to fluctuate.
Yeah,
It'll always
you
be
don't
this
ever
tone.
fluctuate
No.
like me. Okay, go Madison.
Check.
That's
Check,
good.
check.
Okay, I think we're all good.
Not gonna lie, I had a couple beers.
I want a couple.
You had a couple beers.
I would go for a couple beers. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta try.
It's Friday.
Hang on. I'm hearing. Okay, whatever.
Okay, everyone listen. Let's see if we can hear it. It's Joey.
So we got to go to
That's
that.
so freaky. Turn them off.
We got to go to that
love
new
it.
brewery, Telco Brewing Company.
Oh,
out here.
yeah.
that?
It's down
Right
in the
next to
industrial
Pocock.
park. Yeah, it's not too far from Pocock. It's just like down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, it opened like what, a month
Telco?
ago?
Yeah, like a month ago.
Yeah.
It's Telco. There are 2 guys that worked for AT&T or still working for AT&T, and it's a retirement project. So it's like Telco
Nice.
telephone company.
So they're only open Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
They're not
Alright,
open
let's
during
do
the week.
this.
But yeah, that'd be cool to go check that out.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start this one off.
We had a lot of slates. Do you want to redo it?
No, I'll get that at the beginning and then cut everything out. There we go.